Hey YouTube, this is Lamppost. This is my first video I'm making today. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a squirrel snare with some steel wire and a ramp. This is called a squirrel ramp. It's about 5 feet, 4 or 5 feet, and what you do is you find something that's about like this. And you put it on a tree that's a squirrel nest at the top. This one surprisingly does, but the camera's not gonna be able to see it, so I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, well, what you're gonna do is first what you're gonna do is you're gonna make your slip knot. So here's my wire, right? And I'm gonna make it about right to here. No, I'm just gonna start making the slip knot. You wrap around the wire. Not too tight though, because it needs to be able to move up and down. See? That's pretty good, but you don't want it to be too loose or else the squirrel's gonna unwind it. And I have a squirrel ramp up in the front yard, and I've seen a lot of squirrels get through it, and the snare was too big, so I had to make it smaller. So this, I know the hard way that this is right here is about the ideal size. Or if you seen squirrels with bigger heads, then you feel free to make the slip knot bigger, or the noose or whatever. Anyway, so here's your slip knot. Make sure it moves freely, or make sure it moves freely, which this one does. And if you want it to stay the way you want it to, you're gonna have to bend a little. So, because it's getting a little out of control, it wants to keep going down. So I'm gonna just bend it, and now it's stuck there. You don't have to bend it very. You don't have to bend it very. You know. Anyway, so the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna measure where you want your squirrel to hang. You want it to be dead center in the, kind of thingy here. So there we go, like that. That's about it. But you don't want the squirrel. You don't want it to be down here because the squirrel will be able to latch on. You don't want it up here because he'll be able to latch on there. And you don't want it too long because you might be able just to sit on the ground. Anyway, so I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this snare about right here. This is perfect size. He doesn't have that much swinging power, and yeah. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna unwind it just a couple more, just like one more foot or two, so that way I can wrap it around the tree to make sure that it stays there. And if you have wire cutters, go ahead and use your wire cutters. But if you don't have wire cutters, here's a pretty good hint. This is a pocket knife that I got at Walmart for $1, and the blade's dull and everything. But what I do is I make a little dent like that in there. Bring it out a little more, and I hold it like that, and then as tight as I can. I'm gonna hold on to it as tight as I can, and just do that. Okay, and then what you're gonna want to do after you do that, wiggle it around a couple times, and then it'll just come right off. So let me wiggle it around a couple times. All right, and so if it doesn't work, it should work the first 3 times. Oh, there it goes. See? But if you want to get the job done faster, all you got to do is put the knife in there and wiggle around for a little more. All right, so here is our whole entire snare right here. And here's your squirrel ramp. Now, I said you're gonna want to make it like a foot longer once you know where you want your snare to hang, so that way you can start wrapping it around. So I want my snare to hang about right here. So I'm gonna wrap around the wire. Now, here we go. All right, we're doing good. Ow, stabbed myself. Okay, and now if you can get an under view. Now what you're gonna want to do, now that you got it wrapped around a few times, make sure that it's that height that I want it at. So I'm gonna scooch it up here, just, you know, kind of make sure it is. Yeah, this is it. So now I'm gonna start twisting it around. Uh-oh. Steel wire is hard to work with. Alright, I'm almost done here. Alright. Alright. So you just want to kind of wrap it around once you get everything else situated. And you're just going to tug on it. Yeah, it's not going to slide down or anything. And let's move that up a little, because it'll move up, but for some reason it won't move down. Alright, and so here's my slip knot. It moves freely. The squirrel's head is going to be about that big, just so enough it can fit through the head and it'll latch onto the shoulders. So so the snare will tighten around its neck, and then the squirrel, he'll get scared and he'll jump off the ramp. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do, you're going to want to put the noose dead center to where the squirrel is going to crawl up the tree. Okay, so here we go. About, you know, right there. And I'm gonna, alright, so there's that. And then you're just gonna want to kind of get a little aggressive with it, like, you know, bend it here. So, see, there you go. And now you just sit, in a couple of days, maybe a week or two, not guaranteed, but you'll eventually get a squirrel. And here's a little hint, you guys. You're not gonna want to put this on just any tree. You're gonna want to make sure that this tree is you're gonna want to make sure this tree has a nest at the top, or that there's food around it, like acorns. I strongly encourage you to put a ramp on an oak tree, because that's where the acorns fall down and around. So I hope you guys catch yourself a squirrel, and I'll see you later.